Oh, this is kind of nice. I am high as a kite, but I really wanted to do like these videos. I'm gonna try to do them for like Instagram. I want them to be a little bit more like long form, but I want to keep the same style in the same place. I want people to be able to recognize what I'm doing, you know, and so, yeah, let me see with the light on. Oh, this is kind of fun. It's too much light in my face, right? It's too much. Okay, turn off. Maybe you can go over here. Maybe we can go over here. This is fine. So, where am I gonna put my elbows? I think you're too close. Wait, let me go over there. This is a lot of work. This is already not working out in my favor. All right, so I had a whole thing. I had a whole thing that I wanted to say. Maybe I'll put you over here. And a little bit better. A lot of things that I wanted to say to you, and the moment kind of went away because now I'm dealing with this camera. So should I go a little bit back, a little bit more back? I want you guys to see my outfit. Oh, the light turned on its own. Today's outfit, I already took my choker out. It was honestly like too much. Very cute. Now I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, what did I want to say? I wanted to talk about, growth. So I've been seeing all of this growth across all my platforms. So I've been getting, cross-pollination between my Facebook and people subscribing from the Facebook to the newsletter, and people from Instagram going to YouTube. So I'm seeing like a lot of that movement. The newsletter is doing well. To see, it's not a lot of money, but like I already got a few dollars from it. And you just start seeing like how much more it could be in every moment. Like every corner that you turn is like, oh my God, this is gonna, you let the dream kind of take you. And I'm overwhelmed by how prettier it is than what I thought it was gonna be. When I was a kid, thinking about like coming to America and shit like that, like I thought it was gonna be like something spectacular. Right? I really did. I thought it was gonna be like, oh my God, I'm like Cinderella. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna just be like the most beautiful swan on the lake, and everything's gonna be beautiful. And for a long time, it wasn't like that at all. It was just like not. Everything was going weird. And I feel like I hit a phase in my life in which things are not weird anymore. Like everything is coming together, and to just see my business, like how I tripped and fell into like coming to Rochester and then, becoming a real estate agent, and it just felt like one bad choice after another. That's really what it felt like. But my heart was telling me like, no, you're going in the right direction. And my head was like, this is like panic mode after panic mode. And so my job was to just remain calm in the middle of all the chaos and just stay, attentive and not panic. That's all I could think of. I was like, don't quit, don't panic, don't quit, don't panic. And that's kind of a motto that I took for all these years. Like this has been like something that I always took with me, like don't quit and don't panic. And I feel like to see like, how much becoming a real estate agent made me an artist, which is like ridiculous to think about. I would never in a million years imagine that that was what was going to happen to me. I couldn't have written it like so pretty. And there's so many like little details and coincidences in my life that I think so deeply about, and I get to now spend so much of my time because I have so much free time here. I gained so much freedom. Life is so much better and easier than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that I have so much time to dedicate to the things I really love, and to see myself have the ability to learn and have the ability to, self-develop and do all of these beautiful things. It's like, if you do put seeds on the ground, things will happen for you. And I think that this is really what it is. Like, today I received a message for somebody that started following me on Instagram, and they said that they you know, because I always ask, like, how did you find me? Like, how did you get to here? You know, I want to know your journey. I want to know what brought you to my page, to my newsletter. I want to know about you. Like, why are you here? Why are you following me? Like, what's important for you? And I do that a lot on Instagram. And, you know, he's like, well, I'm on Threads. And I realized that it was right under my nose. And I'm like, of course. I love the idea of weaving your own story, of crocheting your own things. I love that idea that life is very much like a crochet. You go back and forth and then you push it, you know. It's like when you have the strand, you don't always know what is going to end up as in the big picture. And I think that my life has been that, is like showing me that, like, all these, you know, moments in which you were feeling a certain way, it's just like you just couldn't see the full picture. And not only am I able to see a lot of the full picture now, but also of my life, but also have a lot more faith and trust and confidence that, you know, whoever is in charge, and you can just relax and be okay with life. And I think that you don't get that automatically. I think that is one of the biggest meanings of life, is just like you have to understand, what is God? Like, who are you? Where did you come from? You know, these are the three oldest questions in the world, in humanity. Like, who am I? Where did I come from? And where am I going? And if you're not constantly asking yourself this question, whether you're a dancer, right? Movement is like, where did I come from? Where am I right now? And where am I going? Like, you're a three-dimensional being, always back and forth in this movement. As an actor, right? You are the present moment of a character, but you also, it's past and it's future. Like, you contain all of it. You know what happened before you, and you know what's going to happen after. As an actor, you can have insight of a character through 3D, and we are 3D. And I lost my thought. I don't know where I was going with this. God is real. I think that's really what I was trying to say. He brought me this little joint. He bought me this little joint, you guys. He's the reason for everything. Everything that exists is because God is real. And I think we should all, this is too much light. I think we should all just be, do you like it like this? Just tell me in the comments. Yeah, that's what I think. That God is real, and I'm glad I met him. I'm glad. You know, because faith is action. You can't just stay home and be like, oh, I believe in God because it says in this book. No. You have to go find him. You have to go meet him face to face. You have to dedicate your life to him. You have to say, whatever God wants me to do, I will do it, and that's how you express your faith in him. Is by finding him, is by going after him, is by saying, like, are you here or not? Show me your face. And when you ask that question often enough, show me your face, show me your face. And you ask that to the universe, you ask that to life, like, let me see who you are. And what you find is just such a magnificent, because here's the thing, like, people understand the world differently. Some see God in numbers, like Einstein did. Some people see God in images. Some people see God in moments of affliction and rock bottom. Some people see God through music, whatever. You know, I love to see God in stories and, like, details of things that happened in my life that I'm like, holy shit, how the hell was that person with that name in that place, in that moment, in that hour, wearing that color? Like, you just start realizing that God starts showing up everywhere, and it's so overwhelming. And it could not be anything else. It's like an ongoing cobweb of life. No, don't change your hair for me. That you care for me. Be yourself. Don't change your hair for me. God is just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, dude, like, God is the essence of everything, and without that essence, we all have it, but we have to find it. You have to find it in the meaning of things. You have to, you know, if things are easy for you, make them hard. Yeah, like make them hard. Create a story in which you are a heroine or a hero until forever, and let God show you how much of that is true. He's pure imagination. The physical world is a particle. It's how God manifests. But God itself, what is God? Is imagination. Boom, 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 boom. An eternal expansion of the mind. Whew. We're smoking weed. I want to do some mushrooms because I haven't done them in a really long time, and I like to just kick it with a mushroom or two once in a while to just boom, go a little bit higher. It can't be like a daily thing. So I found something really interesting, Newton law. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, you have the back context for this. If you haven't been following me, the lesson is lost. I mean, it's in my archives, but I don't like to go back in past. Let the dead bury the dead. The information is gone. We're now into the new information. And so growth happens in circular motions. Everything in the universe is in a circular motion. But it's not just any circular motion, okay? Each one of us, this is what I discovered this week. I even had some drawings. Maybe I'll go get them. So we are going in a circular motion. Everything, the pattern of everything, whether it's the movement of the universe, whether you're doing a play, or having an orgasm, you know, getting through a pregnancy and delivering, to whatever, sing a song, it's all the same thing. Write a newsletter, start a business, like it's all the same vroom, 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 cycle. We talked about that. We talked about this pattern, okay, this is the universal pattern, is a cycle, endless cycle of everything, and there's 9 steps inside of that. 9 steps inside of each of these circles. So this is like kind of like a deepening of the Dreamcatcher system is coming to me as I go along. So Newton, I was reading yesterday, I'm reading the Principia by Newton, which is physics, and so Newton is saying that when there is an ellipse, right? There is this movement, this circular motion. It's not really a circle because circles have beginning and ending, so it's not a circle. It's an ellipse. It kind of like it goes into the next level. It's a coil. It's a coil that expands. So it's not a coil like all the same size. It expands as it goes. And so that coil, because it's always in constant gradual growth, there is no line that can go straight into it because it's always changing size. So there's no straight line. The truth, and this came to me in a dream, you know, I read the book and then the dream explains a little bit more. Our path, when we do the ellipse, it's just like the heartbeat, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then we go in circular motions, forever in expansion and growing. So this circle enlarges itself in each turn, boom. And that's how we grow. That's how everything in the universe is done. Your spine is organized in the same direction, boom. A coil upwards, a coil downwards, energetically. Boom, there's coils, 2 coils, one up, one down. Okay, from here, boom, upwards. Energy-wise. So they're coiled. Everything is a coil. Your genes are a coil. And there's miscommunication. This is very important. There's miscommunication. Oh, so it's like a heartbeat. Everybody has a specific heartbeat. But inside, everybody has a specific heartbeat. Okay, you have to have healthy heartbeats to make sure that you are constantly growing and expanding in the right direction and at the right, you know, pacing, that you are healthy in your pursuits. So your heartbeat is super important, obviously. But that's how we grow. And so the bounce of the lower propels you forward. The bounce of the lower propels you forward, and you're always in this motion with gravity itself, because gravity is going to pull you down, and then attraction is going to pull you up. Gravity is going to pull you down. Attraction is going to pull you up, and you're always in this. You're kind of like a little tick, and that forms an ellipse. And this is forever and going, forever and forever. When coils, because coils are double, they're like a snake. They're thick, right? And they're double. And so when the tracks cross, we have misinformation. So the wires cross, literally our wires cross. When this happens, because we want them to turn kind of like a snake, so they're really nice and tight, like a snake, okay? But sometimes they cross, and so you have crossed wires. That makes communication difficult. And that's when that means that you are inverting the thinking. This is going to get maybe a little too complex, but basically when you invert the thinking, inversion is when you admire something in your inside, but what you feel is jealousy. You act jealousy, but in reality, so you are inverting. You're not allowing the emotion to tell you what it is and why do you want it and why do you feel it. You are putting a thought that is inverted, and so you cross your own wires. You mistranslate your emotion and your thought. Okay, so you're mistranslating because the wires cross, and so you don't want the signal to be crossed. You don't want the wires to be crossed because that disconnects the message, the juice between these coils of energy. Okay, if any of this makes sense, great. If it doesn't make sense, I don't know what to tell. And so it's very important. The only way you can understand if you have crossed wires in relationship to anything is what is the feedback, what is the result of my actions. Meaning, if you try your best to save money, to be better with money, to save for a down payment, to just have a better credit score, to whatever, you're trying to better that finance part of your life, or you're trying to find love, or you're trying to be better being organized at home, whatever. We all have something we want to be better at. You are doing something and you try and you don't succeed. You're trying to lose weight, you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to go work out more, whatever. You're not succeeding. The results aren't what you want your results to be. It's because you have an inversion thinking. Like you cross your wires at some point and you created an unhealthy crossed relationship with this thing, whether it's food, I don't know, brushing your teeth, cleaning your house, being organized, being in healthy relationships. You could not recognize you're blind because your wires are crossed. So it's very important that we understand how this happens, and the way to see am I wires crossed, and the question for that is, are you getting what you want? If you're not getting what you want, if you want something and you keep getting, like if you want love and you keep getting being, rejected or alone or single, or everybody mistreats you, or guys are all stupid and girls are stupid, whatever. If you're not getting what you want, then you are inverted. Your wires are crossed. Something is wrong. You need to uncross them and you need to let the energy flow in the right direction. This is something that George Costanza talks about in Seinfeld. This is a true story. I don't know much about episodes and numbers and whatever. I don't do that kind of stuff. But it was some episode of Seinfeld, and this is a famous one, in which George Costanza said, I always follow my instinct. It always took me in the wrong direction. I just start doing everything the opposite. And what happens to him? His life starts going really well. And so this is what I want you to think about and practice. And this is something that I've been doing too. It's just like, okay, I'm not getting the result that I want. Something is crossed. How about I do the opposite of what my mind is telling me to do? Start small, but do that. And the results are incredible. Like, you really start to clear the path. This is not a one and done solution, but try to go against your own instinct. Try to go contradict yourself. Try to go against your own norm. You always think this way about bread. Let me think differently about bread. So you uncross the wires. Let me do the opposite that I always do. That could be a thought, that could be an action, that could be whatever. So that shows up in Seinfeld. Do the opposite of what you would usually do. Who is this character that I play? Who is John? Who is George? Who is Jane? Who is Philippa? Who is this character that I play? And am I getting the results that I want? No. How can I change it? Just do the opposite of what you usually do. And then that also shows up in Jesus, in the poem that Jesus wrote about love, in which he says, for a while we will see each other as a mirror, but at some point we will realize we are one. And so what he's saying, and this is true, so when your eyes capture information from the world, it doesn't see it straight, it inverts it, okay? When we receive energetic information, emotions about this situation, this person, this moment, I'm having a feeling about this. The feeling isn't wrong. What is wrong is your translation of the feeling, okay? So you're translating your feeling like, well, this is good or this is bad. Try to invert. Okay, every time I have this feeling, I'm wrong. Every time I have this feeling, it's an unpleasant feeling. Let me try to think the opposite about this feeling. I love feeling anxious. I love feeling anxious. Shit like that, invert your thinking. All reality is a mirror. So just like when you look in the mirror, it's not a faithful, accurate, reflection, because it reflects back. So it shows you only one, it shows you the opposite side, not your actual side. And reality is like that. Sometimes reality is presented in one way, but it's actually the opposite way. The way we go about our conduct. Sometimes we think, oh, I'm going in this direction, but we're not, and we're blind to how, misguided we are. We're blind to how much of our actions are the ones that are standing in our own way. And, that's because reality is a mirror. Reality is mirrored. So it's not a straight line between reality and, within and out and outside, inside and outside, within and without. It's a mirror. And so if you don't know how to use the mirror, meaning when you look at it, okay, you realize that, okay, this is not reality, this is the inverted, this is the mirrored side of reality, and so you act accordingly to the mirror. This is, if you spend a lot of time on your mirror, you know that this is true. It's like, in order for you to have a composite in front of a camera, for you to have certain angles in front of a camera, there has to be a lot of work associated with it. The same thing with light. When you're a stage actor, you need to know where your light is. There has to be work done when it comes to that. And it's the same thing for life. You need to learn how to be yourself, and you need to know where these things come from and how do you activate yourself. I think that a lot of people say that, like, human beings don't come with a manual, but I think we do, and I think that we just refuse to learn it. We don't want to read it, we don't want to put it in practice, we don't want to do it. But yeah, like, life is about learning what it's like to be a human, and who are you at essence. And so learn these techniques. Like, reality is inverted, and because it is inverted, you need to learn how to react to the inverted version of reality. Otherwise, you're going to be like a cat that's going against the mirror, because it's scared. It's just like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? You are creating that reality, but it's just inverted. Boom, 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 inverted. How do you know that you are in the right spot? You're getting what you want out of it. Meaning, you're inside, it reflects what you want on the outside. I'm feeling good, I'm having good productive thoughts, my reality is beautiful, I'm thinking good thoughts, I'm feeling good. Right? You want that type of channel between you and reality, the material reality and the immaterial reality, right? The ethereal reality and the material reality. You want that relationship. I want to feel good inside, and I want to have good things on the outside. You want both. But in order to do that, you need to understand that there are separate realities, and then there's different rules for each. Okay? So you need to be able to integrate this and make it your own. It was like, okay, I'm a conscious being in the world. I'm human in 2025, and that means being an upgraded Ubermensch person. You need to get with it. You need to be supercharged. You need to connect to God. This is a very serious message. I know that, like, some people don't take me seriously, but, like, God is not a belief. Oh, I believe in God, I go to church. That's not God. God is the absolute essence of who you are, and the non-negotiation between you and this presence, which is life itself. It's not quantifiable, and it's not definable, and it will never be definable, and it cannot be definable. So, yeah, no. My message in this world is God is real, and you need to follow it. That's my message to the world and to the masses. How do you turn this off?